Porzingis, 7-3 drive and dish.
What do you guys call them? Cookies and cream?
That was cookies and cream.
That was cream to cookies.
That's correct.
All right, 1 of 3 assists there for Kristaps Porzingis as Jaylen Brown had 17 points on the night. Celtics post-game live, Tom Giles, Scal. Celtics get the win 104-92, and I don't really think the game felt that close, honestly, the way the Celtics kind of distanced themselves in the second half. But considering the way this game started, first quarter in particular, pretty good that they were able to turn the page and turn things up defensively.
Yeah, I like what they did, and it's not just, I would say, halfway through the second quarter, you could start to see the team, all right, this is what the Pelicans do, and here's how we got to do it. You saw Porzingis meeting Zion at the rim. You kept the body on him. I thought we did a great job of closing out to their shooters, and we really won the paint battle after that first quarter. So love from that moment on, but the third quarter is the real difference. Celtics come out, weren't burning it up on the offensive end, but we're amazing defensively.
Yeah, and that was the key, holding him to 11 points in the third quarter. We'll talk more about that coming up. We also want you to let us know who should win tonight's Tommy Award. That is your poll question presented by Zenni, the official eyewear of the Boston Celtics. And you're looking at the 5 starters for the Celtics as well as Al Horford in this one. Again, first time in a very long time that they've had their top 10 available. And we saw Joe Mazzulla go 9 deep tonight to get this win, but Kristaps Porzingis with a big night as he put in 19 and 10 and really was assertive on the defensive end with those 4 blocks.
I think the third quarter, him being around the basket was a real problem for New Orleans. Think about it. Like, Zion has been a force, getting downhill, attacking. But, you know, if you have guys at the rim and you can make Zion Williamson, after he's elevating with a body on him, now he's thinking about where Porzingis is at. It makes a big difference, and I thought that was like the kind of the momentum changer of the game. Like before, like I just said, like we weren't amazing in that third offensively, but it shows how, and we've seen it all year, we can win a lot of different ways. Today, we hung our hat on the defensive end, and not only we hung our hat with the physicality in the paint on the defensive end.
And to go further into that, because early in the game, Zion was going after him, right? He was attacking him. The Celtics were persistent, though. You saw him kind of throw different bodies. You know, Drew Holiday on that one possessions, helping over, forcing the jump ball. But Porzingis, they went after him. And again, for him to rack up 4 blocks in that situation, it felt like they stood their ground. And that was one of the things you talked about pregame as well, was defending at the rim.
Yeah, you got to be able to do that. And the way that the Celtics use Porzingis, there was a few times where Porzingis was on Zion, and Zion would just shoulder to chest, go right up and lay it up. But when he's off the ball, and this is how we'll see when we play the Bucks in the playoffs, if they're the team that makes it, Porzingis will be that roamer. Remember what we went to the NBA Finals with? Rob Williams was that roamer. And it does make us a special defensive team with Porzingis there and all the physicality that we have outside of Porzingis at the rim.
All right, I know Abby's trying to catch up with Porzingis, so we'll get you out to New Orleans as soon as she's able to grab him. But again, the Celtics getting the win in this one, 104-92. And this kind of felt like the most aggressive game from him, maybe is the way of putting it, in a while for Porzingis. You know, he
was out for a little bit.
Well, that's what I mean. And since coming back.
So Tom, you got to understand the game plan here, right? Like when you play a team that plays 5 out, like Porzingis is going to be less effective. But when you play a team that's physical, like Porzingis becomes an issue, right? Like sometimes you can't counter physicality with physicality. Like if you look at Zion and you look at Porzingis, Zion has so much more weight and he's so much bouncier, but Porzingis has height and length. So Porzingis was able to use his length at the rim, and he had to be down there battling. Saw a couple times challenging shots, turn around and rebounding the ball. So today you could see like Porzingis had to do that for us to win the game. If he wasn't that force, I'm not saying we wouldn't have won, but we would have to find a different way. Him at the rim, as you can see the points, right? 37 points in the first quarter, 20 points in the second for New Orleans, 11 points in the third. And I felt like they were thinking about him. And then that allows the perimeter players to guard up on the 3. So it makes us a much better defensive team when you have that rim protection.
All right, as mentioned, he is standing by with Abby. Let's send it back to the Smoothie King Center. Abby's got Porzingis.
Kristaps, the defense went to another level after that first quarter. What changed for you guys?
We just knew we couldn't be in cruise control. you know, these teams are hungry. They need these wins. Maybe we, at this point of the season, don't need them as much, but still we want to come out here and compete at a high level every night. And once we hit another gear, the game just flipped.
You had a double-double to go along with 4 blocks. How were you able to get some advantage with your size?
Yeah, I feel like last game I didn't play up to my level on all aspects of the game. And even tonight, you know, the 3-ball wasn't falling for me. But there are so many ways how me and us as a team, we can impact the game if things are not going perfect for us. And that's what I did tonight. I just also turned up another notch, and that's what we're going to need rest of this regular season, then even more in the postseason.
You said yourself you guys may not need these wins, and Joe told us pre-game the temperature in the locker room hasn't changed, but why was it important to get this one for you guys?
We just don't want to. We want to be a hungry team no matter what. We want to, you know, we haven't done anything, and then back-to-back losses to Atlanta, it's not our DNA, you know, and it just didn't sit right with us. So we came out here tonight and got us a dub.
Question about it. Kristaps, thank you. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring in Drew and Eddie now, joining us once again from New Orleans. And Eddie, I'll start with you. Kristaps Porzingis just talking about those 2 losses in Atlanta didn't really sit right. Clearly, they were more assertive, more aggressive defensively, and it really sounded like that's where you saw this game changing in the second quarter.
Yeah, it was definitely with their defense. And Porzingis spearheaded. He got a couple blocks there in that second quarter. And then also I thought the Jaylen Brown guarding Zion Williamson, not giving him a full head of steam to come downhill, like pressuring him. Then we turned him over a couple times, made it uncomfortable. Before you know it, he missed some easy bunnies. And then after he missed the easy bunny, he went to the free throw line. He missed free throws. I thought our defense changed everything. And it was the intensity. I thought defensive intensity, not only the intensity, but the connectivity that they had with one another. They were on the proverbial string tonight for sure.
And you know why Kristaps Porzingis had such a good game tonight?
Talk to me.
Because I gave him a high five in the tunnel on the way in.
Oh, you right? Yeah.
Oh God,
listen to them.
Hey,
listen to him.
Drew, this is a big time matchup. You know, like sometimes physicality is hard to see on TV, but it seemed like today the Celtics answered the call to the physicality after the first quarter.
You know what, Scal, and you'll appreciate this. This is the most excited I've been to have the courtside seat, as opposed to, you know, being upstairs where we are in some of the arenas, because I really wanted to see Zion up close and personal. And in the first quarter, he was amazing, man.
No, he was amazing, but we were giving him the opportunity to get downhill. Yeah. And he was just taking up that space. Everybody thinks that you're supposed to sag off of him because he doesn't shoot shots. He wants to get where he's going. But once he gets like a locomotive, right, coming downhill, it's hard to stop him. And his balance is great. His center of gravity is off the charts, and his strength and his explosion is different. And seeing it in person, you really respect what he brings to the table. So seeing what Jaylen Brown did 100%. Tonight, I have a newfound respect for how physical he was.
And you know what I compare it to, Scal, is when we were in Oklahoma City. I brought this up a few times since that game, but when Jason Tatum said, I got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander after he was cooking the Celtics for the first half of that game, Tatum took that assignment and really shut him down the stretch. I know OKC ended up winning that game, but Brown sort of did the same thing with Zion. And we didn't really know how the Celtics would deal with Williamson tonight, because we saw a lot of Drew Holiday. He was the main defender on him in the first matchup at the Garden. Tonight it was mostly Jaylen Brown. I give him a ton of credit because he was getting beaten up out there. He was out here falling on wet spots. I think he's going to have to throw those shoes away. I don't know what he was wearing, but he was slipping and sliding, and he was still playing that well.
Yeah, that might be the last time he wears those, but if he's going to play defense like that, and it was the shoes, was it because of the shoes? Then maybe wear them again. I mean, he still played well offensively, but I thought defensively, just the way he dug in and took the physical challenge against a physically imposing player like Zion Williamson. We all know what he brings to the table, and Jaylen Brown, not one time did he back down. I mean, he picked him up at half court, you know, and sometimes that's what it takes. It's the small things that changes how you're going to approach it. So the team seen how hard he was playing. They seen Kristaps getting block shots. Next thing you know, their level went to a whole nother level.
All right, it's a good win, and now they can take that win to Charlotte, where I guess we'll be talking to you guys there. So Drew and Eddie, thank you.